to me. Come to me, oh, come to me. I want only thee, only thee. I want only thee. Oh, my Jesus, come to me. Come to me. Well, I didn't quite get that tune right today. Sorry about that. But Nayaswami Hriman here, continuing with broadcasts inspired by the words of Jesus Christ during this Christmas season. I just finished up the last 3 broadcasts on the Beatitudes in Matthew chapter 5, and I'm going to continue, for this broadcast at least, with some of the other things found in Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7. He spoke upon the holy mountain, as I mentioned in a previous broadcast, and he was speaking to his disciples. Jesus has been compared to a new Moses. He went on the mountaintop and brought a new dispensation of teachings. And he said, I came to fulfill the law, not to destroy the law and the prophets, but to fulfill, to complete, in other words. And in Yogananda's teachings, there are a few things in chapter 5 after the Beatitudes that I'd like to share with you. For example, in verse 13, Jesus says, Ye are the salt of the earth. But if salt has lost its savor, well, anyway, it's good for nothing. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel. Let your light, therefore, so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Now, this is a curious teaching. Salt, in those days, in ancient times, was used as a preservative. They didn't have refrigeration, obviously. And so Yogananda's take on that, on the salt imagery anyway, metaphor, was not so much flavor. Ye are the flavor, that you are, characters or something. It was more that the meaning of preservation. And it's a curious interpretation. Those who are in tune with divine law, who are in tune with divine guidance, are the salt of the earth, meaning such people, like salt itself, which is found throughout the earth, if you will, and throughout the oceans, are that which help bring balance. Oh, maybe flavor if you want, but who preserve the harmony of the universe, the harmony of the land, the harmony of the sea. Those who are in tune with divine truth are those who are in harmony with all things. They are the salt of the earth. I suppose you could say Jesus as a carpenter. I don't really know that he was a carpenter, but anyway, let's say he was a carpenter, was the salt of the earth. We who do good deeds in the name and in the consciousness of God help make things stay in balance. Those who express the Beatitudes that we talked about in the last 3 broadcasts, they embrace all life. They are harmonious. They are the salt of the earth. But they are also the light of the world. So salt and light are like earth and sky or something, One is of the world and the other is of spirit, the light. If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be filled with light, he says elsewhere in Matthew. And so you don't hide a light under a bushel. I was told that the word bushel actually means a device, a candle snuffer. Well, whatever. But if you put it under a bushel, it would start a fire. But in any case, it's an interesting statement because what he's saying could be misinterpreted to be, let my light shine, go out and proselytize. Now, Jesus did say something like that in another context, but Meaning, and I think what it means to us in this day and age of great confusion, a theme that I have often repeated in my talks, is that those who are striving to be in tune with God, with truth, and so forth, those of us who are meditators, who seek inner communion with the consciousness of God through the science of meditation, I think it is time for people like us who are the salt of the earth, in that as it comes to religious and spirituality, we respect all traditions. And so we're not saying my way or the highway. I think it's time for us to stand up for a new understanding of universality, the universality and the necessity of spiritual consciousness, the necessity for inner communion, the necessity for attuning ourselves to spirit. We do need to be the light of the world. We do need to be seen. And so that's why right after everything I just said, it's when Jesus said, "Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass away, not one jot or one tittle, one word shall in no wise pass from the law till it all be fulfilled." Now, you can take that as a prophecy, a historical prophecy, or you can take that, as I prefer to do, that until we achieve God consciousness, union with God, every one of these teachings will be useful to us in our effort to attune ourselves with that blissful consciousness of the soul, of the spirit. Whosoever shall do and also teach these precepts, meaning the Beatitudes which preceded these, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. This too is interesting, like sharing the light. This is a command, or whatever the word is, to share these things. That's one curious aspect of the teachings of Jesus that I don't know appear in the Vedas, or maybe in the Quran, I don't know, but in Buddha's teachings, I think it appears everywhere. But we can't just hide. Meditators who tend to be quiet, who tend to meditate in silence by themselves, I guess in the path of meditation there is a distinct tendency to hide. And I think in this highly energetic world of ours, which is just rife with confusion and divisiveness, I think we do need to stand up. How? I'm not sure. It's individual. We're having family gatherings during the holidays, and we don't need to brag or make a big thing of it, but, go off to your room and meditate. I'm going to go meditate now, or, let's not hide our light, okay? All right, that's it for today. A little bit shorter than usual.